My name is Genee Johnson, and this is my housing story. I'm 36 years old, born and raised in Pasadena, and lived here until January 2018, when my family and I could no longer afford the rent. Now I commute to work in Pasadena and to worship at Bethel Missionary Baptist Church on North Fair Oaks. I'm a child development teacher, hairstylist, and cleaning specialist. My parents, my three sisters, and I were always good renters. My parents worked all of their lives and now in their mid-70s operate their own small house cleaning business to make ends meet. We rented our last house here for about 22 years before we got the notice to vacate in an 8-month range because the owner had to pay off debt as soon as possible. Our rent back then was about $24.50 a month, and in 8 months we could not find a 3-bedroom home at that price in Pasadena. Most 1 to 2 bedroom apartments at the low end of the market then started at $2,500 a month, and moving fees were really high. We had no place to move when we left our home. We had to go to Ontario, where for the next 6 months we lived in motels with half of our possessions in the trunk of the car and the other half just neatly arranged in our motel room. We looked in cities as far as 50 miles east and west on the 210 freeway without success. Finally, tired of finding so many surprises in every motel room, like drug paraphernalia, we asked for help. Our family split to cope, moving in with friends and family who could offer us a room at that time. Some of us moved to Lancaster, some of us stayed in Ontario. I moved to Las Vegas. Just before the pandemic, my parents and my 3 sisters rented a house in Pomona. During the pandemic, I returned from Las Vegas to join them. Since then, I adapted a new way of living. My biggest expenses right now are gasoline, my car maintenance, and food. I miss living in Pasadena. It's a joy to work in my hometown. It's where I worship. But I often pray that God will get our politicians to consider the damage we do to our environment when working people in the millions must be in LA traffic for long hours before and after work. I also pray that housing can be affordable for other families from my congregation and the surrounding communities. I dream in prayers of living in Pasadena's diversity and a stable job I can get to on my bike or the bus, and able to visit my parents with love and support at this stage of their lives. I pray for a Pasadena whose community reflects the diversity of God's creation, where we can live with compassion and cooperation.